why we're so bullish on NFTs is because the community, you guys out there that listen to music, us that listen to music, Aaron and I in particular, man, we buy our favorite artists. They could release toilet paper, we'd be right there buying that up. Keeping one to use, one to save,
yeah,
because it might get more expensive in the future, and we might be able to flip that shit. And that's kind of where that's my thoughts immediately is like, this is going to be one of the biggest arms races we'll see once everyone hops on board and figures it out.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the NFT project. And today on the podcast, we have the full squad with us, myself, Aaron, and Brok. And today we're here. How are we, boys? Say hello. I wasn't going to...
Going well.
How's it going?
I was going to intro first before I said, hey, what's up? But we'll get that out of the way. You guys are doing well. I'm super stoked for tonight and pumped for what's happening all across the board in the space, actually. We just had a really interesting sort of bit of chat before the podcast, and we wish we recorded. But it wasn't about what we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to be talking about music NFTs and how they're actually being accepted or are about to be accepted, I guess, into the UK and Australian charts for NFT sales, for digital sales.
Well, it's actually been the UK has okayed it in inverted commas since mid-Feb.
Yeah, so it's been a little while, and they said there hasn't actually been any changes to the what the criteria was for like a digital sale. They didn't actually change the criteria, but it just so happened that whatever this new platform is doing, which is an Australian platform as well, it fits within the category of a digital music sale, so it gets counted on the charts as a sale. And there's kind of two bands who there's a bit of a grey area as to who's first here. We were talking about it before. Muse and the Amazons, I believe, are the two groups, both from the UK, I believe. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about NFTs as digital sales in music charts. Should they be counted in music charts? How can we count them in music charts, and sort of, what do we think is going to happen in this next sort of period as that slowly comes into the fold and we start counting those. So, boys, first thoughts. What do we got? I know, Brok, you're going to have a lot of thoughts. Aaron, let's go to you first. Have you got any thoughts?
Well, I was just thinking, it's like it definitely will be like something more like mainstream as the years go on, but it's interesting because I feel like I can already envisage a time where like people are like, there's more NFT sales of music than there is like physical people buying like an album at fucking JB Hi-Fi or on iTunes or whatever. And so we're going back to that kind of like buying stuff on iTunes, but obviously now with NFTs, you can actually like digitally own that version of the music, which is cool. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of time, really.
Yeah, nice. What about you, Brok? Let's hear your thoughts. I know you're gonna love this one. You've been wanting to talk about this for weeks.
It's been something I've been watching. As I said, I saw the original news back in February, March, and then nothing followed because I think everyone was just too scared to kind of follow it up and do that first release. Out of nowhere, a little tech company now called Serenade has popped up, and they've been releasing music, I think, since about the same time, about March, from memory, March, April. They've got a great bunch of minds leading them, and they've done a couple of Australian artists as well, but they've managed to convince Muse to come and release on their platform. And at the same time, and I'd love to know how they've done this, they've now become one of the first registered marketplaces that can sell NFTs, and they're calling it, the official name's digital pressing for an NFT sale on an official marketplace platform. What I'm most interested by is how is this not going to be like the next Battlefront, in a sense? Is why is a company that no one knows about the first? Even now, I think there's probably like, let's call it, I'm going to be generous here, 2,000 people maybe in their Discord, under 1,000 followers on Twitter. So quite obviously they've been backed by government or other, angel investors in the space. So it's like, why is this particular company? Why are these people leading the company the ones that have been entrusted with this marketplace that is now going to be the first? And why is everyone else not clamoring, in a sense? Because if you think about it, we've already been through this. Like, we already had streaming, and everyone was like, "No, stream can't count streaming. Streaming, no one knows it. It's just fake, whatever."
Yeah.
Whatever. And then all of a sudden they realized, oh yeah, you can pretty easily tell if they've got fake streams because it's just coming out of one country, one IP address,
one phone in
India,
the Cayman Islands, just streaming the song nonstop.
So once they realized that, and that kind of shut everyone up, and that they, streaming now is pretty much the only way people chart, by having lots of streams, because it is the premier place to consume music. And as you said, Aaron, why is it not going to be NFTs eventually? Because digital collectibles, like you can tell with the rise over the last, like, I think it was like 3 to 5 years of vinyl, as CD declined, vinyl had a rise because they were like, we don't need CDs anymore. They're garbage, essentially. They're doorstops. So if I want to buy music, I'm not going to buy it on iTunes because that's pointless when I can just stream it.
Because I already pay a subscription to stream it.
Yeah, I'm already paying $12 a month. I don't need to pay another $1.95 to fucking own the track. I don't need it as my ringtone. I'm good. So people have turned to vinyl, which shows there is a collectability to music, which is just why we're so bullish on NFTs, is because the community, you guys out there that listen to music, us that listen to music, Aaron and I in particular, man, we buy our favorite artists, they could release toilet paper, we'd be right there buying that up. 100%. Keeping one to use, one to save,
yeah,
because it might get more expensive in the future, and we might be able to flip that shit. And that's kind of where that's my thoughts immediately is like, this is going to be one of the biggest arms races we'll see once everyone hops on board and figures it out.
I think like an important thing that needs to be established and figured out is like a standard. What kind of music NFT, like what does it look like? But also like, because what is
the standard that they've made up and said, okay, well, Serenade,
music NFT, yeah.
You got it, baby. Like, tell us, give us some information for fuck's sake.
But there's got to be some like level playing field with these. They have to be almost like just the digital collectible, because if you start attaching other utility to these things, well, then you're not really just you haven't got people just buying it for the music. You know what I mean? Like, what if everyone came with a ticket to the festival?
But is that
CD
not
bundles?
Yeah, I was
CD
gonna say,
bundles,
isn't that what
man.
CDs and stuff already did?
Alice in Wonderland did that spectacularly and charted her very first album by doing exactly that. And everyone went, fucking, this is shit. But then everyone started doing it and realized, hang on, this isn't so shit. This is actually really smart. And even better than that, she gave a ticket away with her CD bundle. So then she sold out all her shows as well.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to sort of say. Like, what if I sell an album that has a free ticket attached to it?
You're a genius.
Is that I'm a genius. Does that count? Like, I don't know. I'm just wondering if that's something that
you'd have to say it does. Yeah.
It's like saying like it's in, like it's also like the collectability as well is like something that you would buy a CD or album for as well. Like
This is already a great episode.
You calling it already.
This
Like
is-
you
it's
might
a
like
banger.
you already collect like all the other CDs and stuff, so you want that CD. You like the artwork on it. Like these are all other factors other than just like, oh, I like the music and I want that music to like do well.
I did exactly that. Blink 182, Enema of the State, released their album, bought it, and then they released a deluxe that had like a T-shirt or something. Bought it.
Yeah.
Owned 2 of the CDs. They were both the same CD. One came with a shirt.
I bought
It's
I
all
bought the
starting to
John
make
I bought
sense.
the John Cena WWE album because the front of it looked like the WWE
Did you?
championship belt, and I was like, this is sick.
This episode has taught me so much about you two in the last 10 seconds. I now get your whole NFT strategy, experience, and the way you guys think.
We just understand collectibles because we are people that collect.
We're collectors, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think that's important for a standard so that we can have, and maybe maybe these things can include these other stuff. I don't know, but what I'm thinking is that it has to be a standard so that all the marketplaces that exist can adhere to a standard, and then they can all be counted in the charts. You can't have this sort of exclusivity of only one marketplace being counted. I don't think that's not very Web3 to begin with, and it's also like it's your gatekeeping, which is the thing that we're meant to be sort of promoting, that these NFTs are sort of getting rid of, and by putting it onto one platform, and maybe this is just where it starts, and other platforms get approved, and there is a standard. But I would hope that the guys at Serenade are thinking about this and trying to actually work with these different governing bodies in the charts and stuff like that to actually come up with this standard so that other places can implement it, and we can have sort of across the whole board, everyone knows, all right, if you want your music NFT to be counted, it's got to be this.
Well, Serenade, if you're listening to this right now, we've already tried to get in touch and have you on the podcast because we want to understand and explain to the greater public, especially all the artists out there that listen, because there obviously already is a standard that you're talking about, and understand what is that and how as an artist can they release on Serenade, or do you know of other marketplaces that currently exist that have been approved? Or
I think they're the first.
I got about 1,000 questions to ask that will all be good, and it's free promotion for again, not to bag you, but an underperforming popularity contest that you're in at the moment. So we want to draw focus to your platform. So get in contact with us.
And I saw they got a bit of Troy Casadale on the front page if you want to buy an NFT of his. I was like, oh shit, Troy's getting some NFTs out there.
For those listening from overseas, you would have no idea who Troy Casadale is.
He's an Aussie singer,
Aussie country singer,
country singer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting that just reading a lot of these articles around this story. It just highlighted so much to me how much the mainstream media doesn't know about the NFT space or crypto space. For example, one of them said that Muse worked with CryptoKitties, which is a blockchain platform, in 2020. I didn't know that they were a platform. Their project, I wouldn't call them a platform. They also went on to say that Serenade is a blockchain itself. It's not a blockchain. It's on a layer 2. It's on Polygon, so it is quick and low fees. But that just like after reading a few of these articles, it's really difficult.
Real head in hands kind of stuff.
Kind of just doesn't matter. Like it just really made me think about how much poor information must be out there that people are reading. About this stuff, because this was something that was sort of shedding a positive light on it, and it was getting facts wrong. Well, geez, what do they do when it's shedding a negative light on it? They probably just make facts up, So I just thought that was an interesting thing to note, just from reading the one article. There was so many things that were just not correct. So yeah, it was the whole do your own research kind of thing. Clearly mainstream media isn't at the moment. So.
Well, what I think the interesting thing here that's going to happen, and like this is every post that Muse is kind of, or has had Muse, or because obviously bigger, larger music marketing webs, social media pages that promote upcoming album releases, etc. Just those mainstream ones. They're promoting the Muse NFT release, and you can just see in the comment there is not one positive comment in there.
Mm.
Even though Muse are like world-renowned artists, there's just no respect. It's just straight up like, shut up, fucking not again. And it
We
just
lost another one, boys.
yeah, it I really would like to go like pause and be able to go back to when streaming kicked off, because I just don't think I was paying enough attention.
Yeah.
When it kicked off, I just was like, oh yeah, that'll work. But I never really used and was kind of there in the early days.
Yeah.
Because I was, as a DJ, I just had so much access to music. But I'd be on blogs and whatever else I had to be signed up to download new music. So whatever music I was looking for, I'd hear about it in the charts or from another DJ, and then I'd go download it, more so than actively listening to a streaming platform or download or buying music to just listen to that album. So I kind of missed that period. So I'd really love to go back and see whether there was as much negative feedback from the public around it.
And I think it's funny because like they really stress this, Serenade and even in these articles that it's an environmentally friendly, like chain or whatever. Like it uses low energy. I mean, it's on Polygon, so it is.
It seems to be only
energy
everyone's
efficient.
focus at the moment. They just trying to.
Well, that's all they know.
Environmentally friendly. Everyone, we're good.
Yeah. But the thing is, the first comment on the bottom of that article was NFTs are bad for the environment, are terrible for the environment, and allow people to scam others. Please think about reconsidering this. And it was like that's everyone's.
Every
Like,
product on Earth has the ability to scam you.
Yeah,
You got a mobile phone in your hand. How many times
Yeah,
you fucking try and
get
get scammed
scammed.
another day? Fucking
emails.
at least 3.
What are your personal feelings, Jai? Like, give us a little. How do you feel about the move towards NFTs? Like, did you being placed in the charts? Did you feel like that was just inevitable?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always gonna be in there, but again, it's to me is that there needs to be a level playing field for everyone. So it's got to be something that we can all, all the marketplaces can implement and they can do it. So there's free options. Imagine if there's a situation where, say, Sound XYZ, that only does curated drops. I think they only do curated drops, don't they? Sound XYZ?
At the moment, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Imagine if that was the only platform that could do it. That would, like, people would be up in arms, wouldn't they? Because it's, it's obviously gated and curated so heavily. I think the fact that this is a smaller company that doesn't maybe have as much attention, and to be honest, I don't know how much of the music NFT space is looking at this.
I haven't seen one person point towards
on Twitter
it
at all,
besides us.
Yeah. So so I mean, I think this is something that we, as a community, people just don't know about because it's a smaller group or a smaller platform. But I think if this was a bigger platform, that there would be a bit of outrage that it was just one platform. It should be everyone or no one sort of thing.
Well,
and,
I think
if that's the case, what's the standard that we're working at? So we can all implement that standard to our marketplaces, to our launch pads, to our NFTs. That's what I'd like to see personally, because I don't want to be at a disadvantage just because I choose one of the marketplaces to sell my music. Like that's not really how it works in the traditional sense of it. Like as long as I'm selling it through somewhere that's a legit place, it counts.
What do you feel like the standard? If you were to create the standard, what do you feel like it would look like?
Well, I mean, there's several parts to that. Like so there's several parts. Like once you start looking at this, we start looking at things like the art is a factor as well. So you've got art. Can it be a video? So can it have moving images on the artwork? how much information do we have in terms of attributes and metadata? What quality is it at? Because at the moment there's some problems around certain block sizes and being able to actually fit a full song, and recall these songs. There's file limits basically on some of the stuff. So depending on what chain you're on, what marketplace, there'll be file size limits. You may not be able to have a song that's 10 minutes long on as an NFT. And so how does that work for those type things? So we just need to figure out these things, and is it additions, is there rarity? Like, there's so much to work through because it's not just there's so many factors now. It's not like when we had CDs, when we said, all right, we need the sample rate to be 44,100, we want it in 16-bit, and here's the metadata that you can attach to MP3s. It's not like that at all, because we can literally do whatever we want now. We don't really have these limitations as much.
Do you think that's scary, or do you think that's exciting?
I think it's exciting, but I think we need to figure out a standard, which is so funny because that's then centralization, isn't it?
That's kind of what I was
in a decentralized world, yeah. But I mean, this is a conversation that I have ad nauseum in spaces every day now. Centralization versus decentralization. How far do we go either way?
I think the smart people are saying like, crypto and etc. is never going to work unless there is some kind of regulation and some kind of standards put in place, because humans as a species cannot work with no parameters.
Well, we can't scale things. You can't scale things if you don't. Because like if everything's like
everyone's working in all different directions madly all at once instead of working together.
Yeah, there's always a trade-off between decentralization and performance. It's like the more decentralized something is, the more you sacrifice performance, because it's not as efficient. So you're always going to have this problem. So it's like, what do you value more? Do you value that decentralized nature? And that's kind of the issue. And it's like, I think, as humans, as a society, we've always moved towards more organization. I think if you go back to the episode you guys had with Somi, that I think you guys were talking about that.
Great episode.
I wish I was there for that. Like, I was listening to it when I was editing.
She's so smart.
I was just like, oh my goodness, I wish I was there. I had so many questions afterwards. But like,
we'll get it back on. We'll get it back on.
So these are the things that I've been struggling with, is like, where is that balance? And how do we come up with that? And I think the only way we really come up with that standard is by figuring out together as a community. So that's all the marketplaces, all the platforms, all the blockchains. Everyone has to sort of come together and talk about these things and propose ideas.
Do you think there should be maybe an NFT council?
Yeah,
is that what we're forming?
I'd love to be the head of the NFT council.
A blockchain council.
Were you just asking? Were you asking me to be the head of it? Is that what you just did?
You can be the head of. You're the head of my dreams at the moment, Joe.
What if Spotify integrated NFTs?
Well, I think
they're going to. Stupid not to.
I think
so then can we just fucking Spotify and Apple are like, we accept NFTs now.
Well, to kind of like expand on what you've said there, Aaron, what do you feel like an NFT on Spotify would look and feel like on that platform, and what chain do you reckon that they would use?
I fucking hope it's ETH.
Come on, Soul.
No, I guess. Well, no, they could definitely be a marketplace for sure. I mean, I was just thinking like maybe they're an NFT. They integrate NFT streaming as well. But I mean, I would much.
They could make a wallet.
I think I would much rather a Spotify marketplace.
8 million wallets.
Than.
Oh no, sorry,
a streaming
like
service.
40 million wallets. Well, they're a tech company. They're not. Everyone calls them a streaming service, but in really officially, they're a tech company. So that's why I feel like they'll ideate into a place where NFTs are accessible. They're already doing. I mean, they just rolled out ticket sales, and ticket sales are already doing well for them. Like companies like Eventbrite are already a little bit stressed about it. And it's just that's kind of the constant battle. And this is we're getting a little bit off track here, but that's the constant battle of tech. Is like, once you have the people, you can just continue to add on to your whatever you have, as long as it's still by proxy within the realm of understanding of the people that are on your platform. Once you have, that 20 million, the 40 million, you're like, here's a wallet. Here's some spaghetti. What do you want?
Spotify food delivery.
Yeah.
I reckon that Spotify will eventually have like your wallet will be connected to your profile, and then you'll be able to like purchase songs directly in the app, and just it'll be displayed on your profile. So like people will be able to see by going to your Aaron's profile. Oh geez, he owns every NFT of every Chainsmokers track. Like that guy loves Chainsmokers. Like you'll be able to
smokes the chain smoker.
Wow.
But you know what I mean?
Look how
You'll be
much
able to
he's
go
earned
and
on
tell.
revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think you'll be able to see all these things, and then you'll be able to trade, sell them if you want and things like that. But I think
I would love.
See, that's exciting.
That's my
exciting.
That's my
Part of
dream.
the
A
social-
Spotify music NFT marketplace. That would be fucking incredible.
You have to think as well. It's like, why wouldn't they have, the biggest thing that Spotify's got to be worried about with NFTs is the fact that artists are accessing money immediately. So the biggest issue with DSPs is the fact that money fucking, when's my money coming? Who the fuck knows? Aria, when's my money coming? Who the fuck knows? Like they come at regular-ish times, but there's no precursor to how much what that's going to be. You're just taking punts at like what that's going to be every time. Whereas the blockchain, it's like, it's there.
You're selling it direct. You know what it's going to cost.
Like Spotify should have inbuilt into your Spotify for artists after every single song, every single play. It should have, because the algo is working it out the whole time. It is. They can't tell you it's not. It is. There's a back end to their system that's telling them how much they've got to pay each person. It doesn't go.
There's no
at the end of every month
in a dark room going over all these sheets of.
There's no at the end of the month all of a sudden compute. It's just happening on the fly. So why aren't they showing that to artists?
Because they have backdoor doors with labels as well. That's the problem.
Yeah, they've got all this shit going on. So that's the issue for Spotify right now is they're looking down the barrel of the next 5 to 10 years of open source, and they'll just be like, oh fuck, we'll have to get rid of all this shit and figure out another way to make some more money, other than the shady shit we're probably doing right now.
Yeah, so
and it's not shady, it's still all deals, fucking whatever.
It's just business.
They got to make money. Everyone's got to make money.
And if anyone from Spotify is listening, we're available.
Yeah. To come work for you, for sure.
Yeah. We'll head up your music
NFT. Yeah.
We're heading the Spotify NFT Music Council.
To kind of circle back to the charts as well. It's kind of, you feel like what do you feel? Is there? Oh, this is an interesting one. Do you feel there will be an award in the next 5 years for NFT sales?
Yeah.
Like at the Arias, they got biggest NFT
because they've got streaming, don't they?
Too.
Do they have streaming awards already for the most of the charts, or is it just you just get it because you sales?
I don't know, but why don't we just do one?
Aria streaming award.
Well, Cooper's probably already got that on the fucking in the bag.
Cooper,
Cooper
do
NFT now.
Do not take that idea.
I know there must be a Spotify awards, so I mean, as soon as there's a big enough platform, they'd have their own awards.
I mean, like Song of the Year presented by YouTube Music, like surely that's fucking strong.
We've got to do music NFT release of the year by us.
Give him a box of Kellogg.
I don't know. You can come on the podcast.
A signed box of Kellogg.
They get something. We'll figure it out. We'll
give
pull
him
some
a king
strings.
coin.
Yeah, I'll give him a king coin. We'll give it.
Project DJ.
Yeah, Project DJ NFT and a king coin, mate. They're rich.
Yeah, I can throw some pixel bands in. we could
throw a band in.
Yeah, we could end up getting a little
swag bag.
Together.
Little swag bag.
We'll figure that
well,
out.
I'm just looking at the Aria thing, and it's like they've got like best Australian live act as well. So it's like,
they're making.
If we're fucking giving awards for live acts and like tours and shit, surely 5 years there's an NFT release award.
Like, how do you go best live act? Everyone every artist you're talking about is a live performer. Like
Yeah,
everyone
which
that's
one's the
getting an
best?
award is a live performer. You fucking retards.
Best cover art. Jeez, I didn't even know some of these were awards. Crazy.
Like, yeah, but that's it. It's like you're giving people awards for everyone. Like that's just it's kind of like a petition. They're like, oh, we really wanted to give an award to someone, but we couldn't get them. They didn't get best song, so best live act.
It's like the Oscars, you know, like we're fucking giving an award for like every single department in a film set, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, why wouldn't you give an award for an NFT?
Pat on the back award.
All right. Well, we've got a new lot of work for ourselves. I've just given us.
Get your tuxedos ready, boys. NFT Music Awards.
I just really I'm super excited about it. I think, you know, it's only with Australia and the UK already accepting it. It's only a matter of time before the US does. Once the US does, I think you'll see a lot of your favorite artists just chucking a couple of thousand NFTs for sale on whatever platform of the day is approved, and they're going to get sold because there are already collectors in the space that understand the collectability of them, and they'll want to hold these whether the music fans are in the space or not, because they'll know and they'll understand. So be ready. If this early in the game, essentially, because really NFTs popped off a year ago, 12 to 18 months ago. So this is early for charts to be going. They understand it so well because of where streaming went. So they just went, it's obviously the same as streaming. Let's just move with the times and move with the technology.
You know what?
Which is already a good sign.
Yeah, you've just sparked so many good ideas. You've got me thinking here. I'm like, it's gonna change how we do supply and pricing of music NFTs.
100%.
Because they're gonna be so much cheaper, so more people buy them, so you chart.
Bingo.
As opposed to small
Bingo.
supply. Yeah. So
Bingo.
That's gonna change the game.
That's the standards that you'll have to see. That's the thing that I was kind of like, is he going to dawn on this? That's the real game. Is not the standard of like what's included. It's like how cheap you want to go.
Yeah.
0.0001 sol.
Yeah.
Wow,
we sold 2 million of them.
Boys, we're on. You know, is it going to be
wallets?
Yeah, is it going to be individual wallets? Because, you know, like that's another thing. Is that like there's much bigger questions than how you package in the NFT.
Yeah.
Because really, and as I said with as I said with Alice in Wonderland's project, like charting, selling a show out, like she basically made herself, like with her team and her made herself a number one artist in Australia by playing the smartest game there is.
Yeah.
Which is just playing within the rules to the letter of the law, but just making it so it plays in their favor. And you'll see that, not yet, because it's still no one, you know, I guarantee no one in the Muse band besides maybe one member knows what NFTs are actually doing. They've just gone, yeah, cool, let's do it. Like, let's be the first. Yeah. You know, so I think you're going to see more people come in the next year, and then you'll start to see those kind of like people trying to figure out how to best the system and kind of give them, because right now I think Australia like get a gold is like 6,000 units sold. It's so low. Bar is like at the bottom. As low as it can go, it's down there, because they just know that physical sales are just in the bin. They're still there, but they're just not.
So how many NFT sales till you've got a Bitcoin record? Is that how it's going to be? Like Bitcoin, Ethereum record? What's next?
No, it'll still be the same. It'll just be adding on to everything else. But yeah, I get your joke. I get your joke.
Souls at the bottom.
yeah.
Whatever happens, souls at the bottom.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Good chat. Good discussion,
we've gone on a few little tangents today, but I think this has been a good one to sort of just shoot the shit a little bit as well, because there has been, there's so many things that go on in the space that I think we can't really put into one topic a lot of the times, and we try and do that on the show. Like, we try and have a theme or a topic, and sometimes it's like, there's 3 different things we want to talk about. So tonight was great to be able to just chop it up a little bit, and hopefully get to do some more episodes like this in the future.
Love you
Good
guys.
stuff.
All right,
Catch you
thanks
next
everyone.
one.
See ya.
Talk to you soon.